With interest rates still a little high, some are thinking about jumping out of the property market and investing the cash in a different way. So how can you evaluate your options? Here to share more is Peter Sashecki from Everything Financial. Good morning, Peter. Good to see you. Happy Wednesday. So a lot of people, if they have a rental property with a mortgage, has real estate generally been a good investment for people up until this point?
It has, but the last 3-4 years, interest rates, property values in a lot of cases in that condo market, because it's so flooded in Vancouver, actually coming down. All the rental rules that don't favor the people buying rental property, you start to add up all those things against you, and now you really got to evaluate, is it worth having a rental property, and am I actually making any money?
So when is a good time to sort of evaluate whether or not you need to?
Now's a good time, and it's pretty easy to do, Carrie, to look at, well, first off, the easy one. If you're supplementing the costs, so the amount of money you collect in rent doesn't equal all the costs, mortgage, insurance, strata fees, maintenance, all the taxes.
Yes, taxes.
If you're supporting that, look at selling the property.
Okay, so let's talk about so you add up all of those things and you have an amount that's left over.
Yes. Now, let's say you're in a profit situation, though.
Okay.
Then you got to realize I got to claim the profit on my income tax. So it's real simple. Let's assume you're in a profit, because that's where you have to make a decision. So if you're in a profit, then look at plan B, or the alternative, which is how much equity is in my property if I sold it and paid off all the bills. And let's use a simple figure, $300,000, just for a condo. So take that and just go 6%. Well, 6%'s $18,000 a year on $300,000.
What is the 6%?
So that's if you invested the money.
Okay.
So you take the equity, you put it in an investment. Let's say you make 6%, and basically take that figure and what that monthly amount would be if you invested the money, and if that monthly amount is greater than what you're earning in the property, done. Sell the property, move on.
Interesting. Yeah. Is that something that a lot of people are facing right now?
Lots of people are doing it. And not just for those reasons about profit. They're also doing it because they're looking at all the rules and making it so unattractive to have a rental property. It's making it so tough. And there's a lot of devaluation of the condo market. Look at all the reports. It is so flooded. There's so many vacant condos. And people think, oh, it's all the foreign investors. That's where all the rules came in. The majority of condo owners are not foreign investors.
Right.
It's mom and pop and the person next door who's just trying to earn a little extra money to help out with the retirement, and they're deciding, you know what? I'm not going to be a landlord to another piece of property. I'm just going to invest my money. Even if you make 5 or 6%, you're making the money without all the headaches.
I think a lot of people also may have purchased rental properties with the expectation that they might be able to Airbnb them, and maybe haven't been able to do that now.
There's a ton of people we meet who have that situation, and now they're stuck. And now if they can't Airbnb and they're looking at a longer term rental, but they don't make the same amount of money, and then they have all the rules about if they did have to get rid of a tenant, even if it's a bad tenant, then you've got the deal with, you get some free rent, so much notice, etc. And there's just not a lot of profit in it in a lot of cases.
Okay, so people are sort of weighing this option then. So how do they begin this process then? They do the calculations? Do
the calculation, and if investing the money gives them a better return than all the expenses, sell the property. But one thing you got to do first, look at what your capital gains will be.
Okay.
If you've made money. Because if you're making money, there is a tax situation there with capital gains. But we've talked about this on many segments long ago. If you have unused RSP room, that may be a way to put some of that profit into RSPs to offset the tax of the capital gains. So just talk to your registered financial planner, do the numbers, and literally, Carrie, in 15 minutes, you can know if it's worth selling or keeping, what the cost or what the profit's going to be.
All right, there's ways to work around it. Peter Sashecki with Everything Financial. Good information this morning. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you.